Hey there, Libra. Welcome to your reading for the week of May 23rd, I think. Don't quote me on it. I don't know. It'll be right in the title. Doesn't matter, right? So let's get started here, Libra. We are just going to see what is going on for you. I love that. Look at, damn, Libra. I love these cards. I love this Treasure Island card. It's kind of like as above, so below. This Royal U card is kind of like a glow-up card. And look at this. You have this Venus card as well, which says Beloved on it. But this looks like a really, like it could be a really nice reading. I don't want to jinx it just yet. But let's see what is going on for you at this time. Yeah, I would say if you've been like heartbroken or anything recently, maybe it's time to kind of like, let that go. Looks like there could be some delays. I don't know. This is about average for this week, I would say. But let's see. You start off with this Treasure Island card. And again, this card is like an as above, so below card in this deck. It just kind of represents your inner world matching your outer world. I've been telling people pretty much for, I don't know, all year, that this year it's really, I would say until the end of 2025 at least, and I would say really you shouldn't just stop because, I say the end of 2025, but, that's when Neptune leaves Pisces, and with Neptune and Pisces, kind of, again, our inner world will match our outer world, so I think we have to be really careful of like our feelings, but also like our energy, the things we do with it, and all that other good stuff. And especially with this card here, you have the Six of Pentacles, the Three of Wands, and the Hermit. Again, the Six of Pentacles is kind of like equal give and take, right? But it can also represent like where you invest your energy. You can see that he's giving to one person, but he's not giving to the other there. So I feel for some of you, it's kind of like, I would be very careful of like what you are putting your energy into. And, again, if you're giving to things that don't give back to you, I would definitely avoid that with the Six of Pentacles. I feel a lot of like growth and expansion with the Three of Wands. I feel like if you're feeling lonely, this is going to sound weird, but this is what's popping into my head with this card, Libra. Like, I feel like if you're feeling lonely, I feel like you just haven't figured out that you've expanded, that you are kind of like in a different place. I feel like your energy is different. So really, it's like you could be feeling lonely because you're still attached to the old, people that were in your tribe or the old people that were in your group. And I'm not referring to age here. I'm just referring to the people from the past. And it's like, I feel like you've upgraded to like a new group of people, right? And I feel you just need to, it's like you're trying to find the people that are right for you. And that's how I feel with this Three of Wands. I do feel it's kind of weird, like I said, because again, I feel intuitively, it has like very much a lot to do with your social life and the people you socialize with, the people you surround yourself with. I'm not suggesting you're cutting anyone out, but I just feel like you could be feeling lonely. And sometimes we can have people in our life and still feel lonely. And I feel like you just need to realize that you've like upgraded. So it's like the people that are going to be entering into your life are going to be at that level. They're going to be kind of like the upgraded version. Here you go. You've done the work. You've earned it. This is a card of, being withdrawn, the Hermit, but it doesn't mean that you should stay withdrawn. He is standing at the top of this mountain, but it's like he's learned everything he's needed to learn. He's kind of faced his shadow. It's a card of kind of going through a dark night of the soul or doing some introspection. And again, I feel like you're at the top of the mountain now. And here's where you are. The Royal U card. Again, this is like a card of a glow up, having a glow up here, Libra, being able to get a lot of attention. The weird thing is as well, in this row, the Moon, Three of Swords, and the Four of Swords. This would be the total opposite energy, obviously. The Moon is like a very withdrawn, kind of mysterious energy. But really, on the Moon, there is a path that goes straight down the middle, and it terminates at some mountains back there. And mountains represent achievements. So you have you have three things that symbolize mountains here, believe it or not. Hermit, he's standing at the top of a mountain. This card here, and then the Ten of Swords, there are mountains in the background of the Ten of Swords. And, I kind of get this feeling of accomplishing something here, but I also feel you have to, again, you could be feeling lonely, and, I feel like you have to go on this journey to maybe explore some new people or to find new people. I feel like you have to kind of like get out there and actually kind of do the work is what I'm trying to say with the Moon card. So don't be afraid to like go socialize, try to meet new people, all that other stuff. I also feel like the moon is kind of like saying it's time for you to do something kind of more on your own, especially with the Three of Swords. I'm not suggesting that you do something on your own, but I do feel there is a sense of independence here. You have the Nine of Pentacles. And again, I like to stress, like sometimes I think too many people read the Nine of Pentacles and they say like, you're single, you're alone. It's like, yeah, I mean, that could be part of it, but that's not what it's like, that's not the point. It doesn't mean you should be alone. It just means that you're independent. She might have a partner, she might not on the Nine of Pentacles. She's just truly independent. That does not mean she's alone, right? I feel like people have like, there's like this toxic independence thing that I always talk about, where I feel like people have like toxic independence where they're just totally not willing to work with other people or whatever. And, again, to me, it's not necessarily a good thing to be doing that. Especially when you can create so much abundance for you, yourself, and other people by kind of, again, working with other people. But I do feel, having said that, I do feel there is something that you are kind of working on your own at this moment. You have the Four of Swords. I feel like it's something that you're asking for. So again, if you're asking for love, you could be working on love on your own. If you're asking for money or financial support, then I would say that, it could be something that you're working on your own. I would suggest that has something to do with your values with the Venus card. We have Uranus and Taurus right now, obviously. Uranus and Taurus has a lot to do with our values. Venus kind of also has a lot to do with our values. So I'm getting a connection between the two things for you in this reading, where it's like I would be kind of getting very clear on your values. I've had this message before this year where I don't know why it's so important. Well, I mean, I think it's a great thing, number one, to get very clear on like what you value in your life. It's like if we understand what we value, then we can kind of like work backwards from there and we can make some decisions. It's like if you value being able to travel the world, it's like you can put that down on your list of values and you can say, like, maybe you're not traveling the world right now, but because you understand its value, you could say, like, okay, what can I do now so that I can travel the world? It's like once we kind of like understand what our true values are, then we can make some decisions. Like I said, maybe your values, you have values. Maybe you have values that you want to travel the world, but you also want to be able to like be home certain times so that you can be with family. Then you can say, you know what, maybe I only need to travel like twice a year, right? You can get more specific. And again, the more specific we can get with our values, probably, we're going to have an easier time actually being able to live them when we understand that. And we also, part of the law of attraction, if you believe in it, and if you don't, that's fine too, as I always say. But if you do, the more specific you get, the more likely you are to attract it into your life. So I'd get very specific on your values, even to like, if you say, oh, I want to travel, a lot of people, everybody wants to travel, right? Everybody says that. And I always say like, okay, but like how much do you want to travel, right? And what do you want the travel experience to look like? Like me, I like traveling, but I'm also Pisces. I like staying home. So, I'm perfectly happy like traveling to a place and staying in the hotel the whole time doing nothing. Trust me, right? Or even better, nowadays it's like I prefer to get like an Airbnb because it's kind of like home. Kind of I can stay there. I don't really have to do anything I don't want to do, and all that other stuff, right? So it's like just using that as an example, it's like, can you get that specific? You're probably the total opposite. Maybe unlike me, you're actually exciting and you go do things, right? So it's like, can you get specific about the actions you're going to be taking based off your values? That's what I'd be doing here. The reason I'm really saying this is this. Not only that card, but also this card right here, Nine of Pentacles. She is very clear about her environment. There's a snail right here. The snail has wears its home on its back, and the snail in the tarot represents kind of, your environment. So she's very clear on like what her environment is, what her environment looks like, how it works, and all that other stuff. So I feel like you need to get very clear on your values. The Ten of Swords says this might mean that you have to leave something behind. I feel like it's an amazing time to leave something behind, especially if you're afraid to do it. And that might sound scary, but again, I feel like we're all becoming more free by removing things that maybe we feel stuck or bound to, especially with the Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords, again, can represent kind of like a new day dawning. And it says like he might think that he is, maybe he's lost the battle on the Ten of Swords, but he hasn't lost the war. It's like there are mountains behind him. The mountains say there's still a lot for him to accomplish. So I feel like for some of you, if you've experienced a loss, or if you've experienced a recent loss, which it looks like you have here in this reading, I feel like you need to realize that it's just like one battle. It's not the entire war. And again, I'm not saying you're going to war. I'm just saying I'm using that as an example. And finally, you have the Hangman. Hangman is enlightenment, but sometimes we can't gain enlightenment until we move. He has, sacrificed the use of his arms and his legs on the Hangman. But if he were to, he's also hanging from the tree of wisdom and knowledge. He has gained wisdom and knowledge by kind of sacrificing the use of his arms and his legs. But now it's kind of like time for him to get moving here, Libra. I definitely feel that for you. I feel like it's time to get moving towards a wish, goal, dream, something you've been planning on doing. Let's see. With the Six of Pentacles, yes. Knight of Pentacles, time to get to work. It's time to start planting seeds in that field right here. He represents being too cautious, not making any moves. He needs to get moving. Again, he has everything he needs. He has oak leaves on his helmet, and again, oak leaves in the tarot represent wisdom and knowledge. It's like he has everything he needs. I feel this for everyone. Again, I've never had so many readings that are basically collective readings, but there are some differences from sign to sign. But what I would say is almost everyone has this, where it's like, okay, I think we're all prepared for something. Now it's time to go. Now it's time to take action. But I feel like everybody's scared to take action, including me. I'm not calling you out here because, trust me, I've got 3 things I'm trying to get started right now, and I just keep hesitating. So I'm right there. I'm right there with you. Right. With the Three of Wands, you have the Eight of Swords, stuck. Right, self-imposed restriction. Like I just said, everything I'm talking about. We need to kind of set ourselves free so that we can be truly successful. We aren't stuck. It's an illusion. And again, even I understand this, and I still allow myself to be stuck. So, like I said, I'm trying to figure it out along with you, right? And, it is what it is. With the Hermit, you have the Page of Pentacles. This could be good news coming in for you, or I kind of feel like this is communication. I feel that part of me feels that Page of Pentacles is something that is a little bit of a boost here. So it's if you've been having a hard time getting started on a project or a business or whatever, I feel this could be some information that comes in that gives you a little bit of a boost forward. With the Moon, you have the World. I'm going to show you over here. The World is an accomplishment. It is also a card of birth. So, like I've been saying for weeks, I feel all of us are going through a collective rebirth at this moment. I wouldn't really call it a rebirth. Actually, I would say, is it a rebirth? I think that's part of it, right? Some of us, I feel, are, to me, let me put it this way. To me, a rebirth, it would say that there's some sort of transformation going on, which I do feel but a personal transformation. I do feel like there are personal transformations going on, but it's being birthed into a new world where the rules are different. We can kind of do things differently. I don't know, feels exciting. With the Three of Swords, you have the Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups is a wish, so I would say make a wish. It's also a card of fulfillment as well, so I like it. With the Four of Swords, you have the Five of Cups. I don't know, I feel like this is everybody's problem. It's things don't look like they should, It's I think we need to understand that, again, we're kind of in this new world already, and maybe the rules, it's maybe it's just going to look different, right? What the hell am I talking about, right? Well, it's maybe you want to start a business and you think that you need a bunch of money, but you actually don't. But maybe you think you do, but you don't. So I feel like you just need to get started. Same thing with love. It's maybe you feel that there are certain, we all, I don't know, I think we all have a million bugaboos around love, right? Where it's we think things have to go a certain way, right? I think we all are guilty of having this love story in our head. It's going to be different for all of you because we all have a different love story based off of who the hell knows what, right? And so I think we have this love story in our head, and we think we have to meet this, idealized version of a person, whatever that is for you. It's different for all of us, right? Because we all find different things attractive, right? So I think we think that it has to be that way, and then we set up these expectations around that, and it never really. That's Disney stuff that never works. And so I feel it's I think we should work the opposite, right? We should set up our values, and we should say, in love, for example, I have these are things that I definitely value in a person. We're not talking about necessarily physical characteristics or anything like that. Although, again, obviously a person has to be attractive. Again, I'm not afraid to say that. I think these people that are all that are out there that are oh, you should accept someone for who they are and blah, 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 right? Okay, that's great. That sounds good. That sounds good on Oprah, but this isn't Oprah. This is, Tough Love with Chris, right? It's we obviously have to be attracted to a person. Let's be honest, right? And, again, Oprah, liar. And what I would say here is that, basically, put that stuff aside. Obviously, you have to be attracted to the person, but what values do they have, right? and say, I need these values. Then start dating, and if you meet people with those values, keep dating them. Obviously, if they don't have the same values, don't date them, right? But all the other stuff can be filled in, right? We can work around the other stuff. Maybe they have some bugaboos, some things you don't like, but I think we can work with that, is what this reading is saying. With the Nine of Pentacles, you have the Moon. The Moon, again, is about kind of like going on an adventure. It's a card of fears, illusions, fantasies, needing to kind of like go down this path. So I do feel like there's a new beginning coming in for you, but I feel like you have to like, get going on this new beginning. It's weird that I see the Moon as a new beginning in your reading, but I don't know, that's how it's popping into my head. With the Ten of Swords, you have the Seven of Swords. I would let go of past hurts, Three of Swords, like right here. Three of Swords, Ten of Swords, Seven of Swords, Eight of Swords, Three of Wands. This to me looks like, if I were just to put that together, to me, I feel like someone sold you a false bill of goods. Maybe someone told you things, in a relationship are going to work out one way or the other, and obviously they were a liar, or they were, or maybe they just couldn't live up to whatever they created in their head with the Nine of Cups. So I feel like some of you were dealing with someone who kind of sold you a false bill of goods in a relationship. Maybe they told you they were going to marry you and they didn't. Maybe they told you whatever, right? And so I feel like forgiving that with the Three of Swords is important. Three of Swords is about forgiving. It's not about forgetting. It's just about forgiving so that you can move on. And with the Hangman, you have the Three of Swords again. I really feel, for some of you, clearly forgiving a past situation will set you free is what this is saying to me. And again, that doesn't mean you are, forgetting or anything like that. It doesn't even mean you have to communicate with the person, but it does mean kind of like letting go is going to set you free. I just want to get like a final outcome here. Ace of Cups, new love, or you're just emotions overflowing, being really happy. So, to me, the Ace of Cups could be new love, but to me, it's just a card of fulfillment, kind of like the Nine of Cups, just a card of feeling fulfilled, feeling good. Middle row, Ten of Swords, again. So, obviously, like there's a new beginning coming in for you. Again, I don't consider the Ten of Swords to be a bad card because the guy's dead. It's like, it doesn't get much worse. It cannot get worse than that, right? So, what I would say here is I feel there's like a new beginning coming in for you. But again, it's going to require the death of something old. Bottom row, Queen of Cups. I kind of like this because you have that Royal You card. You have the Queen of Cups. Both of those cards are about valuing yourself on a deeper level. Again, I think that a lot of us, here's what happens in not only love, but also with money, is it's like, I think that we do things that kind of show the universe that we're not valuing ourselves. So then the universe is like, oh, okay, well, I'm not going to give you what you want because this is what you value. It's like if you are dating a person and you can tell right off the bat that they're probably going to cheat or they're a liar, cheater, stealer or something like that, but you still date them, the universe is like, oh, well, they want to get cheated on, right? And so I feel that really if we match with our values, like I said, which I would get very clear on here if I were you, Libra, then you're going to attract better, bigger and better things. And but again, the good news is I feel like you're starting to value yourself. So it's like when you do that, you attract better things because you're valuing your own self, basically. I like this. I like where it's going. So thank you for being here, Libra. I really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.